Hello and welcome to Geeks of the Round. It's Halloween.
Whee!
The horror.
Yes,
Oh,
the
the
horror.
horror!
The
Fantastic.
horror of American Horror Story, which we're discussing tonight. Last night's episode. Wow. Charles, you mentioned in a comment you couldn't wait to talk about this episode, so why don't you start talking about this episode?
Okay. Oh my god, this episode was so awesome. Oh my god. I mean, I'm trying to remember some of the things that happened at the beginning of it. Okay. What's the name of the black girl?
Queenie.
Queenie. Okay.
Queenie.
Like in the previous episode, I thought Queenie had died. I thought the
Well.
Minotaur killed her.
I did not. I definitely expected her to come back.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Bert's dead.
just the show starts off with them finding her like over an overturned table. She's like screaming. Then she sees the Minotaur come up behind Fiona's
Yeah.
daughter.
No, this is Fiona's
Which-
mother. No, sorry, just
No,
Fiona.
Fiona
sorry.
herself.
Yeah, Fiona herself.
Which, by the way, I am really hoping they flash back to that scene because there had to be some amazing, awesome moment of magic that they didn't show us, which I respect that they didn't show it to us, but I really hope they do.
Yeah.
Carry on. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, but just when they found her, I mean, she was freaking out. And was it Fiona's daughter or was it Fiona that found her?
Fiona
No,
found
Fiona's daughter found her, so.
Queenie. Wait,
Okay.
who?
All right, and then behind her, the Minotaur showed up.
No, it was Fiona who found
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
They all look the same.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't remember either, but it was
the dog.
Minotaur.
The dog farted. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Minotaur showed up, like raised up behind her. Queenie screamed, and then Fiona turned, and then it went to a different scene. I think the scene it went to after this, I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I watched the episode.
Well, intro.
Recap. Thanks for reminding me.
Well, we had
Yeah.
the intro first.
Yeah, and then the intro happened, which I know
really
a lot.
disliked it.
I know a lot of people like watch shows, and they like watch the intro for that show like once, and then they'll never watch it again. With American Horror Story, I love the intro so much, I'll watch it every episode.
Are you you're talking about the credit song, right?
Yes.
Now, do they? Because I wanted to ask about this week. Do they do it differently every week?
No, it's
Yeah.
the same every episode.
Is it? Because this week it just really stood out to me, and I was loving the opening. Normally, I also watch it. I did it once, a couple weeks during season 1 in surround sound. Boy, was that awesome!
Yeah. I mean, there may be something different in it, but I didn't notice it. It looked the same, but I still love the intro regardless.
Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. I found it overwhelming.
Yeah. How is
Wait,
that
wait, wait.
overwhelming?
The
Said the show
credits.
was overwhelming. The
Oh,
whole show was overwhelming.
oh. I
Well,
stand
what
corrected.
overwhelmed you?
Well, it was the beginning intro. It was before it was before the whole Queenie plot came. It was the intro, like how the voodoo priestess is known in her area so well. That it was something about that subject matter did not rub me the wrong way, which I didn't like.
There
I know
was
it's what it's telling. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say there was one thing that we missed. It was the scene that happened before the opening credits, where they went like back to the 1960s. There was that kid that was riding on the bike, being chased by the car. At first, when I saw that kid, riding on the bike, I was like, "Oh, kid riding on his bike on his way home from school." But as soon as that car showed up, I was like, "Oh, God damn it, not this!"
Yeah. In all honesty, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not really offended that easy, but that scene alone kind of offended me a little bit. It's just like, it was like a weak plot device they use it. Like, let's use something shocking for plot device.
I think the whole purpose of that was just for shock value and also
like.
to give
Which? Go ahead, finish.
to give Marie a reason to raise the zombies and then rip those guys apart. And when I say rip them apart, I mean literally rip them apart.
Yeah, I got
Body
that.
parts were flying everywhere.
Yeah, I got that notion, but they didn't have to use that type of subject matter. They could use a different type of subject matter, like.
Well, I think
I'm tossed between the two of you, I gotta say, because when it happened, I thought the same thing that Isaiah thought, and I didn't even think of it as shock value until you just said it. And now thinking about it that way, if it was forced, look, I always those scenes are always effective for me because they're real. That shit
Right.
happened, you know.
Yeah, that
Hmm.
has happened. I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying
But
that.
now that I no no, but now that I think about it being for shock value to push, as Charles said, to basically, and as you said, a plot device, and as Charles said, to get us to see those zombies. Now that I think about it, that's kind of shitty.
It was. I mean, I didn't even like that much. It's like, okay, we get the whole like everything was racist back in
Well,
the day, but you had to show how. I mean, it was a point you had to show it, but there's a point of being subtle and there's a point of being overboard with it. It
I
was
have
just,
it was somewhat overboard, but I wasn't. I mean, I was bothered by the scene where they showed the kid hanging on the noose. I was like, oh god damn it, why'd you have to kill a kid? But
Did they
and
show
then,
the kid hanging?
yes, it
yes, they
did,
did.
and that kind of even made it a little bit more. Ugh.
And then the mother like screaming over his body. That was very disturbing to watch. And then Marie Laveau, I think is her name.
Yes,
She did that whole ritual, and that the ritual scene was really cool. Like how she killed, like she cut gut the snake.
Right, and when she would react to like those zombie dudes getting shot and stuff,
Hmm.
it made it feel like she was actually controlling them, like
Yeah.
right.
And just the whole scene where her eyes went completely white and she was going like, ah, yeah, that was just wow, good acting.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. It's just that this is my opinion. Just I just wish they used a different type of intro. It wasn't so forced in a way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think you might be right. They suckered me in because again, using that kind of subject because it was real, it's always a plus because it'll hit your nerves. But now that I think about it as being just a shock value point, because they could have done anything else to bring forth the zombies. If it was, I mean, okay, if that kid's death becomes a big plot point, then I
Right.
accept it. But if
Right.
it literally was just there to introduce us to the zombies, kind of shitty.
Mm.
It's heavy subject matter for such a light thing. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But
They don't go back to that whole scene whatsoever until well maybe the zombie part, but not the whole scene itself at the end. Like whatever.
Yeah. Uh,
but I want to say I like what they're doing with magic in this.
Oh yes, I
Like
agree with that.
when Jessica Lange was blowing in Queenie's mouth, it wasn't like they weren't showing little sparkles like in my hair. They weren't showing little sparkles coming out of her mouth. And earlier, I was a vampire slayer from the world of Twilight. I was covered in blood and sparkles. That's why my hair is sparkly.
that
I just
is
road
an
rashed
awesome
myself.
Halloween costume.
But I was out in the rain. I was trick or treating with the kids and all, and now it all washed away. So I had to do this for the show. Because in case any of you guys showed up, because I put that note up, hey, I'm going to be here looking like an asshole if you guys want to look like an asshole with me. And then I show up and all the makeup's washed away, and I said, oh, crap, I'm not looking like an asshole. What if these guys show up looking like assholes? Then I made them assholes. Then that would make me an asshole. So I painted my face, and now I'm the only one looking like an asshole. Back to the story. They didn't put sparkles or anything like that, which I'm just so excited to see how, if they show it to us, how they're going to do that Minotaur kill, because so far they're very natural with their magic. It's an unseen kind of thing. And
They're not using any special effects or stuff like that.
It's all
Right.
practical, which I
Yeah.
really like.
and I'm fucking loving it, man.
Yeah, I love it when they use practical effects or they don't use anything and just try to make it seem like something is there.
I think that's what the show this season's strength is. They do everything practical instead of simply as CGI. That's
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah.
So
Also,
they stick with it.
Also, Spalding was my favorite in this whole episode. He was really cool.
Mhm.
Who?
Spalding.
The butler.
Mm-hmm. I call him Hansy. I had no clue his name was Spalding. That was cool that we got to learn more about him. I was under the impression that she cut his tongue off because I had left during that scene last week. I had to run and do something real quick for a second. So my girlfriend filled me in and told me, yeah, Fiona cut his tongue out. And then this week
Well-
I'm like, what the fuck did you watch?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really telling. It was a really telling backstory, though.
Yeah, but
Because I kind of figured. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I thought the backstory they did for Spalding was great. It just did. But just the
And the forward story, the current story is tea parties and fucking fancy dresses. Man, this character is going to be
and
exciting.
potential
Yeah,
necrophilia.
And
yeah, and that's
and
what the show was
necrophilia, the
missing.
big reveal at
Yes.
the end
Yeah,
that he's
that's what
got.
the show
He's
was missing
that
too.
girl ain't gone. Madison's in his room.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that they're gonna try to bring her back
They
similar to
can't.
the same way that they did with Kyle,
No, that's no. I don't think
or
that at all.
or maybe like they use some form of necromancy.
Like, well, that's the thing behind it. They don't like this. The students think she's not. Well, two of them think she's not dead, but one who's a smart one, Nan, know that she is dead.
Hmm.
So that's up in the air. But
Yeah.
with Spalding, I knew he had like an affection towards Fiona
Hmm.
at that age, like a pedophile. But that was a really cool one. And he was actually the creepy and disturbing character that we needed for this season. Because
Yeah.
after a whole season, we got no creep, we got no what's that word I'm looking for? Unbalanced character.
Unbalanced character, sort of like the burned guy in season 1.
Right, or bloody face in season 2.
Yeah, and speaking of that whole incident and a new and sort of exciting character, actually, there's two new and
Oh
exciting
yes.
character. Well, one's a new character and one's a new character twist. The council of the council, the Coven's council, when Nan
Yeah.
called them in. All right, the one dude, the little tiny gay guy from Will and Grace. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Dude, I always thought he was hilarious, and I think he's a real he could be somebody in this episode because he's high up in their council. He's got a
Yeah.
good rapport with Fiona, so Fiona might be able to get away with a good amount of things, and I have a feeling he is going to be somewhat of a moving piece in the rest of this season.
Hmm.
Just a
Maybe,
small
but
hint.
This
I
is gonna
forgot.
make me sound like an idiot, but that guy, the gay guy you were talking about from Will and Grace, I could have sworn that was a woman.
You serious? Wow.
He does look like a physical education teacher.
But
No,
I think
I literally thought it was a woman. I mean,
I forgot her
Always,
name.
even until I said it now. You mean until I said it now?
no, I mean I can't. I mean, even now, after you saying it was a guy, I'm like, really? I mean, I could have sworn that was a woman. I'm still kind of questioning it.
Wow. You
Why,
need some
man?
you need some bear glasses, Charles. You need some bear glasses.
Yes, I do.
No,
My
I
eyesight
can
is
see
getting
what
worse.
he's saying. He sounds like a Southern Belle, and he looks like a fucking Oompa Loompa.
Oompa loompa loopa dee doo.
Um,
An Oompa
Angel,
Loompa female gym teacher.
also the Angel of Death has a nice new haircut. I forgot her name, but was it
Who?
the new character with the redhead? I forgot her name. Martha.
Who?
Um,
You mean the maid from season 1? Moira?
Yeah, Moria. Yeah, yeah,
Old lady in the council.
yeah.
yeah,
Old lady, the older lady with
the
glasses.
red-haired woman from the council.
Yes.
Her
Yeah,
name
she'll be
is.
around. She'll be gone next week.
There's
Yeah.
something. Her name is like something Snow.
I was about to say Snow. I think it's with an M. I think actually.
It's
Yeah,
with an
Hold on,
N.
I have
It's
an
confusing.
N.
An N. Yes.
All right. And did you guys realize that she was the woman, the crazy? Remember, she was the crazy lady in episode 1. It's Myrtle Snow.
Oh, okay, Myrtle.
Remember, she
Yeah.
was the crazy lady on the bus with Zoe in episode 1.
Yes, I do remember
Yes,
that.
she
I
was.
figured she
I
was going
remember
to
that.
come back at one point.
Yeah, but she had a good entrance though.
Hmm.
I think she was more compelling too in this whole episode
Yeah.
alone.
And that whole freak out where she did in front of the council, where she started saying she keeps getting away with it, she can't get away with it anymore. I think that was a little much.
No, I think that was really spot on.
Yeah.
Because if you looked at her backstory, you looked at the history between those two, they really do hate each other. And you
Yeah.
see how Fiona keeps getting away with it. I see her anger. I see her
Mhm.
passion that she wants her to pay for these crimes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
they could have built up that story a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more better.
But otherwise, I didn't find any problems with that scene.
yeah. I mean, it was okay, but it just was. It felt like a little overacting, in my opinion. but that's just me.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about another big bad monster. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I
Oh,
said
you
it a
mean
couple of weeks
yes.
ago. I said, is this guy, is he,
Yeah, I know what
just
you're
a
talking about.
mortal with the witch? What's her name's
Husband
husband?
Hank Fox,
Hank Fox. That's his name in real life or on the show?
the show.
What'd you guys think about that, and what do you think he is? We've seen him violently fucking a chick, and then we think he's gonna I thought he was gonna grow horns and wings, or like turn into a werewolf or something, and then he pulls out a silenced pistol and blows her head out. So it's like that confused me. Like he killed her in a very normal way, but
Professional.
he's with the witch. Yeah, so he seems like a professional hitman and not a So he's a human monster. Or is he a real monster and he just did that? What do you guys think about him? What's
I
happening?
mean, this is probably something that came out of nowhere, but when I saw that scene where he killed her, I think that she might have been a witch, and he might be a witch hunter.
I'm not gonna go that far now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just a contract. I'm gonna say this like say on the norm, like he's a contract killer because he did things pretty clean. He knew the victim. He did his research on his victim on a social website.
Yeah, but what kind of hitman fucks his target?
Hey, a good convincing one.
Yeah.
That's how you kill someone.
I mean, I'm sure she had a good time before she
A
died. I mean,
horny
it
hitman?
but it
Uh,
looks like
yeah.
she was
Man
having a
with an
good time.
erection.
Yeah.
If you hear that phone call between him and I forgot his wife, it was kind of telling that he was working, and like I
But
forgot.
lying to her, so it's also telling that she doesn't know.
But at the same time, he could be right though. You never know what his job. We don't know what his career is though.
But I did not expect him to shoot her.
I did.
I mean,
I expected her
when
to kill him.
she showed up at the door, I was like, oh, he's cheating on his wife, and I thought that was because they couldn't get pregnant.
Yup, that's what I thought. But then he
Yeah.
started saying that stuff like, I'm really a monster. Well, that's what made me start to think that he was just cheating. Maybe he would eat her, but I definitely didn't expect him to shoot her.
Yeah.
I kind of expected he was sure. I was like, yeah, he's gonna kill her. I see that look in his eyes. He's a killer. He's a
Mhm.
killer.
I gotta say, Isaiah, to me that makes you a freaking genius because I don't see anywhere in the world that could even be considered. I think that was total left field. That gun.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen too many shows.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that was really a short scene, by the way. I wish it was like a little bit longer than some of the plot lines, but it was kind of short.
Do you think? I thought they packed a good amount of story into it. And hey, you got some Jessica Lange shoulder action. I saw
That's true.
that part and I was like, up, Isaiah just got chubby.
but but the only reason I say it was short because what they did with the Zoe plot, which I didn't care for. It's kind of
Which they
boring.
barely even touched on. It's like they forgot
Oh,
about her almost.
yeah, when she lost Kyle, nothing was brought up ever again. Like, you lost Kyle, we're not gonna worry about Kyle. Oh, okay, never mind. I was just
Well, that's
yeah.
what my girlfriend said. Actually, funny you mentioned that. She said to me as soon as the girl walked out of the house when Kyle was gone, she was like, and right there, that's when I would be completely done with the situation and walk away, never to be heard from again. And I
Yeah,
was
I
like, you
didn't
know
know.
what? Good point. I'm gonna walk away from that monster too.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but I know why. I know where Kyle's gonna be at. Anyways, it's gonna be like one or two situations. He's either gonna follow Zoe or go back to the witch lady in the forest.
Hmm.
So either one of them.
There was one thing that happened earlier in the episode that I think we didn't touch on is that after Queenie had been rescued and she was in the bed and she was recovering, Madame Leary or Kathy Bates,
Character.
she walked up to her and she said, I mean, I don't know how to thank you. And Queenie said, I'm sure we're going to work on that.
Yes, and I was
I'm curious to see how the relationship is going to evolve from that.
I think Kathy Bates' character sees the more better light of colored folks and their ways.
Which bothered me with Queenie's response because, listen, if you've got a woman as horrible as her
Right.
and she is coming to you and thanking you in that way, you've got an obligation to be as gracious as you can be because that's the person you want to change. You know what I mean? Like that. Like that's a person worth changing.
That is true.
So I was a little upset by her response.
I think that response is a little
I always
normal.
think kindness. It was a normal response. However, I just think a better response would have been kindness, considering the situation.
Yeah, but overall, she kind of did save her life. So in the
Yeah,
end, that's kind of like the best generation you can get.
right, right.
Yeah.
However, it's just it's a huge step for both of them to pull that lady out of the darkness and into the darkness, so to speak. It's a huge and worthy feat, I would think.
Yeah, and they didn't really touch on that plot. I mean, touch on that plot line between those two characters like that much. They only touched on it for one bit, but then they just jump around to another plot line that I didn't care for, but that's a different story.
Which one?
Well, they jumped around to a couple of plots like the Zoe plot, and then oh my goodness, what was the other plot? Oh, um, Fiona and the council plot. I mean, that was not a bad plot. However, it it was pretty much a little drawn out, a little bit drawn out,
Hmm.
slight bit.
Hmm.
And then we then we moved to Kathy Bates' character and her plot. I had mixed feelings behind that plot.
I mean, I don't really have much to say about what they were doing to explore her character in the episode. I thought everything they did was kind of basic. Like the
Yeah,
scene where Fiona was getting dressed and getting on her dress on and everything. I mean,
Isaiah's scene.
Isaiah's boner moment.
Mm-hmm.
hey,
Um,
don't knock it before you try it.
but
Swing.
just during that scene where she was talking, where Fiona was talking about Halloween, Fiona was, not Fiona, but damn it, Kathy Bates' character was talking about Old Hallows Eve and how it was back in her time, and just the whole I don't want to say argument, but it was basically Fiona telling her that it's not like that anymore, that it's all about candy and dressing up in costumes and all that. And it's appeared that Kathy Bates didn't really react to it differently. I mean, she's like, whatever. She
Well,
didn't really oh, that's how they do it now. She
well,
didn't really get surprised.
what can she do? Because she's in a time where times has changed. Just things are different than what she lived in.
Well, it's just later in the episode where they show the kids coming up to the house where she's giving them the candy. She's doing she's doing it like it's like she's always done it. I mean, she didn't look confused during the scene.
Yeah, that was one thing I had to agree on. There was no detail, no.
They might not know what the hell to do with that character
Yeah, they
because,
really don't.
like last season, they sort of didn't know where they were going until halfway through. And in my opinion, they didn't know where they were going even when they finished.
True.
Um, and I think a lot of this, like, I don't think the ending is written yet.
Yeah.
At least that's how it was last season. At this point last
Yeah.
year, the ending wasn't written yet, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm wondering if they even know what the hell to do with Kathy Bates, because it does seem like they're kind of wasting that character.
Oh,
Like, what the
pretty
hell
much.
is the
I
point
think
of that character? There's going to be a twist, I guess, coming up.
there
Has to
will be, but I think that even if they do come up with a twist,
I lost both of your fucking microphones.
You did?
Cock
did?
doodle doo. Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up if you can. Yes. Let's see. Viewer, can you comment? Can you hear everybody? The fuck? Wait.
you might have muted us.
Hello, I can hear you now when you said that.
I didn't expect you to hear that.
But yeah, going back to the subject, the writers are wasting Kathy Bates' character pretty much throughout this whole couple episodes.
And what I was going to say before we somehow got muted, I think that when Kathy Bates does become mortal again and then somebody kills her, nobody's going to care.
Well, why would
Pretty
they?
much.
She's a useless character at this point. That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
I'm suggesting something major has to happen with her. She's got to have some bigger part in this role.
Right.
You've got some immortal racist face mutilator, you know what I mean? And you're just gonna have her in a maid suit. There's gotta be something in store.
Like maybe she gets the upper
Excuse
hand
me.
and punishes Fiona or something.
Yeah,
I don't see
because we
that
like.
happening.
Yeah, I don't see that happen. I like Fiona too much, so no, no.
Yeah, you would, Isaiah.
Hey, now I love older women, like all the older women. Don't knock me down. No, yeah, experience. Anyways, the whole anyone see that twist coming? Well, I did. Well, I didn't see it, but anyways, anyone see that twist coming where it said that movie star actress wasn't the what's that word I like to use
I did not the Supreme. I did not
yeah, it
see
wasn't
that
the
coming.
Supreme. I didn't see. It was like half and half. Like I knew she wasn't really. We all knew she wasn't really the real Supreme. We had a feeling that she wasn't. But when they threw
Yeah, we said
one,
Zoe. We always thought Zoe since the
right, right.
beginning.
And
Yeah.
then they threw out this one crazy line that she had health problems. Like what?
It's
She had
like,
health
where the
problems?
hell did that come from?
I know
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
that
Like
was
what
so
the
out of
fuck?
character when she was like on the bed and she just looks over. You know, I thought that was so out of character.
That was kind of crowbarred in a little
I
bit.
think it was like, you know what? We don't really have an excuse as to why she's not the Supreme, so why don't we just pull something out of our asses?
Pretty much. It's like wait, what? How did you know she had health problems? Like, we had no build up. We had no hints, no clues that she had
Well,
health problems.
we wouldn't have a hint. I mean, if that's what they were gonna do, I guess that's how they would do it.
But
Right.
here, I know this right here that I'm about to say is speculation, but I think it's a pretty cool speculation. What if Zoe was the obvious choice to be the Supreme, and because of that, that she wouldn't become the Supreme, and it'd be the woman who lives out in the swamp?
It's motherfucking Nan.
It's Nan. Let's go with Nan, please. Let's go with Nan.
That's the
Yes.
ultimate. If they really want to stuff the world, it's Nan.
Right, because her character is. I just keep liking her character so much. It's so interesting. She's so pretty much smarter than the rest. Like, she's not a live idiot. She's really dead. Like, yes, let's agree with her. She's the smart one.
Yeah,
And,
but sorry, but Charles, to address that and to tell you if it about the girl in the woods, the reason why I don't think it's her is because I think what she's gonna be is she's gonna be the witch fighting. She's gonna be like a third wheel in this war because
Right.
she wants Zoe for taking her man.
Yeah, something stupid.
That's what I think. I think she's gonna be like a problem for the witches.
yeah, and after you guys said about Nan being the Supreme, I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. Because
Yeah.
she's the unassuming character. I mean, nobody really thinks
Hmm.
much of her, and so when it does come time to pick them as Supreme, look, it's her, and they're like, oh my god.
You
Right.
made me think it when you said unassuming. When you said uh, that Zoe was the given, and then my brain said, "Well, who's the least given?"
Right.
And that probably
Yeah.
ended up being her.
And also, if the actress had heart problems, wouldn't she kind of, in all sense of the term, die in the whole rape scene? I'm just wondering because the heart be pounding very fast, and
Mm,
Mhm.
no, I've
Not
known people with
necessarily.
heart issues who have done plenty of drugs.
and that's what they kept bothering me. Like, she did drugs, she did all this other crap, but
I mean, I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know everything about heart problems, so I don't know. I mean, they maybe in real life something like that would cause a heart attack, but I don't know. I guess they just did it for the sake of the story.
right, right. And what else can we say? Oh yes,
Listen, let me just say about that the heart. I knew a kid who had a freaking hole in his heart, and he
right.
used to drop acid like church wafers, you know,
Wow.
and he was fine.
Okay. Then that,
Wow.
and then that crazy bar scene with Fiona and her daughter, that was like kind of out there. It was. I mean, it wasn't bad. It
Well,
was just
that's
out
one of
there.
the that's one of the last big things because there was two other things. Don't remind me to talk about because I wanted to make sure we hit three more points. That was one of them.
Right.
That was huge. I thought that was huge. What were you gonna
Yeah.
say?
I mean, I was gonna say I kind of when I saw her get acid thrown on her face or eyes, really, I kind of had a feeling like I know who this person is. It's not gonna be that hard now.
It's fucking
Like,
Myrtle.
right, pretty much. If you look at those shoes, like, come on now, come on, we ain't that stupid. We're not that stupid. Like, there's not a shock value there. Not a twist value there. There's no twist. It's like we can pretty much guess all these. And
Well, that was shocking to me. I guess.
I'm not trying to take that away if it wasn't shocking. I'm just saying that whoever it is who put acid in front of his daughter, we kind of know we kind of get the prime suspect in our minds.
Yeah, well, I didn't think about it being Myrtle until later, because I mean, obviously, the first person they want you to think it is Angela Bassett.
Mhm.
I would think.
Yeah, but that's not her style though. She wants to go
No,
full force. And
not at
so that's
all.
the first point. What's the 2 second points that we're gonna talk about the zombies or talking about Angela Bates' character?
Um, no, the zombies is one of them, and the other one is. But wait, let's not get off that acid yet. Um, we
Okay,
saw
okay.
in the coming. Did you guys watch the next week's previews?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we see Fiona react to her daughter's face, so we know that it was definitely acid, and it's gonna be really fucking bad. Um, you think that's gonna play into stuff with her husband now, or what?
Well, um,
No.
I don't know. I mean, I saw in the previews for next week that she's in the hospital bed and her husband walks in and says like, "Who did this to you?" Now, from what I got from that short clip, it looked like that it was genuine concern.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he's somebody who fucks people up for a living, so I'm thinking he's gonna want to fuck someone up. Hey, we got a hitman against witches. That's kind of
hey,
cool.
that
That's
is
kind
cool.
of cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think he cares about his wife so much that he would
Mhm.
kind of do that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think she might be blind though.
Well, from what I saw from where the person in the cloak had thrown the acid in her face. By the way, when that person walked up with that glass of liquid, I knew it was acid before she threw it.
Yeah, it was kind of obvious. Like
Yeah.
that's acid.
Yes. But as soon as threw it in her face, it only hit one eye. It hit her right eye, so she'll probably end up being blind in her right eye, but she'll be able to. I think she's going to be rocking the eye patch, and she's going to look hot.
Some of them been watching too much Walking Dead.
You
Hey, I'm just saying.
eye patch in like American Horror Story does not link to the governor.
Hey, you never know. You never
Oh, so
know.
you're just going to say the governor's going to show up in American Horror Story and say, "Hey, bitch, you took my eye patch."
I was thinking
Correct.
Andrea.
Who's Andrea again? Oh, you mean the one who complains and did nothing? That Andrea?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't miss her.
Anybody who watches the Geeks of the Round Walking Dead discussions knows that Andrea is actually Kim Beasley's favorite character. She actually started a fan page about Andrea.
Wow,
Oh
Yes.
God,
that's kind of. Hmm.
a bit much.
No, no.
Yes. I'm just throwing that out there for anybody who watches the Walking Dead's discussions. That one's for you guys and Kim. Another point, okay? Nan's boyfriend. I'm still saying he's a freaking wizard or vampire or
What's
goblin.
something? What's
Him and
something else
his
with him?
crazy Jesus mother, they are something else. They're not just Jesus freaks. You don't live next to a coven of witches and,
Don't
beat
quote
two
him.
But
Down
would they
syndrome
even know that
girls.
their next door neighbors are a bunch of witches?
Yes, because they're witches themselves.
Right, but
So
maybe.
that's your.
That's my logic, and I'm sticking to it. If they were human, they would not know.
Right. But it'll be interesting if he tries to be a wizard or something like that, because he
The
was pretty
son,
interested. Oh, you go ahead.
I would say the son would have a curiosity in magic and all that. His
Mhm.
mother, hardcore Bible thumper.
Pretty much.
I'm
Yeah.
saying she's a witch who went to Jesus. She's a witch who went to Jesus.
I mean, that sounds plausible too. Very, very plausible.
I think it's
Uh,
an interesting spin. I think it's a duality, that
Right.
I
would.
mean,
Right.
she takes Bible thumper to the stereotype phase. I mean, she is exactly what you'd expect from a Bible thumper.
Yeah, with passage of the with passage. Yeah,
It's
with.
like in Jesus'
Sure.
name. I was like, oh God, just
This is the Exorcist now.
no. It's just
No, he
I mean,
didn't say let Jesus fuck you.
Hey, now there's a cat in this public. We can't say public.
This is a Halloween cat.
He's gonna let you. Please let me go.
He's like, put me down, slave.
I like him.
Yeah.
All right. What the fuck? End of the world?
No, it's a weather warning. Sorry about that, folks.
Were you guys done with that topic? Because we have one more big one.
Yes,
Obviously.
we are done.
Yeah, ain't nothing else we can say about that plot. I mean, that point.
Motherfucking zombies.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel? I like the way they look.
I'm going first. The zombies looked awesome. I just think it was a well, actually, no, I don't. It did kind of feel similar. It kind of felt like a little bit like Walking Dead. I mean, not as extreme as Walking Dead, but I would say that the zombie or the zombification fits with the magic because voodoo does deal with zombification a lot.
Yeah, the definition of zombie is
certainly
voodoo.
does.
The definition
Yes.
of voodoo has zombies.
So yes, and I thought the zombies looked awesome. Like the 3 zombies that walked up to the front door of the Coven's house, they were awesome. The white eyes.
Oh yeah,
the
her
right
daughters, right? Those were her daughters.
Those were her daughters.
Special effects there.
Right? Those were her daughters?
Right.
Yes,
that
they
was
were her
great makeup.
daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The rest I can't say because it was all faraway shots.
Yeah.
I was kind of a little bit disappointed, a little bit, because this was always hyped up, and then wait, it's the end of the show. Well, that was pretty pointless.
Yep.
Should have been 2 hours instead of this 1 hour nonsense.
Mm.
And then
I think the zombies look great. Go ahead.
I was saying they have farming tools. Like, wait a minute, they have farming tools now? Are these zombies supposed to be smart or stupid?
We had a big bad glitch. I
average...
don't know if the hangout. You guys froze
We
for
did?
a few.
Okay, now you froze. He froze.
Minutes. So I don't know if you guys are in. If what you said happened, I'm sorry to anybody who's listening, but God damn it.
I know. It's crazy with this hangout. But yeah, overall the zombies wasn't bad.
Zombies are now in the show.
For about one
If
episode.
anybody can hear, wonderful.
Yeah,
what I was going to say originally is that crap. I'm losing my train of thought here.
No, down his fucking mic. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The echo is distracting.
Deal with it. Live with the pain.
All right, what I was saying was that when Isaiah was saying like where they were having farming tools and all that, I don't think that they are your typical run-of-the-mill zombies. They're not going to eat people. They're going to rip them apart because the zombies are being controlled by Marie Laveau.
Right. Because they killed her lover, who, by all means, I never cared for. Like, I never cared for this dude at all, so...
It's like, oh, he was her lover? Yep, don't care.
I want you all to know that these guys are actually talking, and if you just see me... Oh, you guys can hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, great. I've been letting you guys speak, hoping this is recording properly. It just glitched out. You guys froze up for a while, and then when you came back, you're like, farm tools!
We were just talking about the Minotaur and his death and how we didn't care whatsoever about him. Like, oh, he's dead.
Well, I mean, that's motivation for Marie to flip.
Well,
True,
when they opened the box and it showed the Minotaur,
and it's not dead. It's not dead.
It was still moving.
Right, so it's not dead.
Yeah. Just mutilated.
Yeah.
Nothing but a little mutilation, my boys.
So I don't know why she got so angry over that. Because he's still alive. Just throw it out there.
Just take the head, put it on top of the torso, twist, and you're good.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yep. And there's always a pitchfork for, emergencies.
Right, and also one last detail before we let loose. They talked about the whole the voodoo witches and the witches and the voodoo witches had made a truce.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool detail. Well, if Fiona broke it,
Yeah, it was like Gang Wars when they were signing different parts of the map.
right? Like you go over this way, you go over that one. It was racial, not racial, but segregated, areas.
Hmm. All right, guys. Any points you want to make? Because I want to actually stop this before any more glitches occur and end on somewhat of a high note.
That was one point.
I don't really have any speculation as to what's going to happen in future episodes, but I
Glad
am.
you said that because I do. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I do have a question. In the previews for next episode, they showed a scene where the Witchers were circling this mound which had a stake on it, and it had somebody tied to that stake.
Myrtle.
Myrtle.
You think it was Myrtle?
I think it was Myrtle.
I think it was Myrtle.
I originally thought that it would be Marie Laveau, but I think it'd be too early to kill her off.
You never know with this show.
Yeah, right. But they can't kill her off because they got another villain. They got another villain in the works.
But with Myrtle, they would need to have a reason in order to put her on there, and it doesn't seem like reason has shown itself yet.
Maybe she kills Myrtle, right? But the resurrection witch has something to do with Myrtle coming back as like some sort of Gandalf the White kind of supreme witch.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't.
I'm reaching around on that one.
Reach around.
No,
Okay.
Isaiah, just no.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking about someone else.
How rude, Charles. The least you can do is offer a reach around.
Hey, the only person who's giving me a reach around is Fiona.
God damn it, Isaiah.
Hey, it's either her, Angela Bassett, or Kate Beckinsale. Either way, I still win. Or Kathy Bates.
Oh!
What? Don't look at me.
I don't know. I want to leave everybody with the image of Isaiah getting a reach around from Jessica Lange, but we can't leave it on that image because I do have a speculation or a thought. I think things are about to start kicking ass. I am so fucking excited for next week. I do think they aired this episode on the wrong week. I think that they should have started the whole season 1 week earlier. They should have given us this episode last week, and next week's episode should have been the big Halloween episode, because I just feel like it's more of an event episode, and I would have been just fine it coming out a day before Halloween. It didn't need to come out on Halloween to be the event episode, but I feel next week sort of diminishes the excitement of it just slightly, because I feel they missed a really cool window.
It should have been 2 hours instead of been 1 hour, because everything was just too compact for me. Like, they're trying to tell all these stories that were in 1 hour, but it could have been extended to 2 hours in my book. Like,
I thought it was very well paced. We normally agree a lot of things, but I think your opinion is invalid, Isaiah.
That's nothing new.
I think it was very well paced. I think the whole episode was well paced. I think it was a straight out the park win. As far as the season goes.
It wasn't a bad episode. It was overwhelming at times.
And there's something in them cookies that dude brought over.
Yes. Space cookies.
Yeah. Oh. They brought over good cookies then. Those are brownies, you mean.
Hey, either way, you're still going to get high.
I guess so. Yes?
I was just going to say, if you're going to eat brownies that make you feel like you're in space, yeah, there's something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy! Now
yeah, that joke kind of backfired.
Yeah, we know it was terrible.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Uh-oh.
And he froze.
And he's gone.
And yeah. Well, goodbye, folks. If you ever hear us again.
Yeah. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo. I bet he's freaking out over there going like, well, what happened? It froze on me. No!